SMC's Level Engine here to teach you about MAP16. This process will make the objects a little more interesting and complicated to work with, but it'll be very rewarding once you figure out how to do it. Here you'll be inserting objects as tiles rather than inserting them as objects. The first thing we notice is that there are floating munchers right here. We want them on the ceiling, but we want them to actually look like it makes sense. Floating munchers never looked good. Here's how we'll fix it. Some MAP16. So what we're going to do here is find a way to turn these munchers upside down. Add objects. If we were to go to the objects, we notice that we can only get the black piranha plants, which are the munchers. We can only get them right side up. We want them upside down, so here's what we do. We're going to go to the Direct MAP16 Access section of things. Then we're going to have to find a way to turn it upside down. There's our muncher we want. But we're going to go into this 16x16 tile map editor window, which is where all the action is going to happen. Here's our muncher plant. If we were to do this, problem solved. We'd solve one problem, but if we were to try this again, then oops, we create another problem if we were to do that. If we were to simply just flip this one muncher plant, it would create a new problem because you would no longer get them right side up. This is impossible to fix. No, it is not. We're going to go to page 3, drop in this new muncher plant, flip it upside down. Nothing changed for the others. And there are so many more things you can do with MAP16, like make skinnier ledges. I'm going to do this right now. I don't want the stone blocks to be there. Spamming stone blocks is never good. So here's what we're going to do to fix that. We're going to make ledges as replacements. And to make the skinny ledges, we're going to go and we have 16x16. We're going to do 8x8 editing mode instead of 16x16 editing mode. So we get to grab like the 4x4 we get the 4 squares of a 16x16 tile. So we can work with the 4 squares of it. So we're going to take this part of this tile, looks right, this part of that tile. So far we have a nice looking tile over there. I'm just going to look at everything I need to fix and fix it. Going to keep my eyes on it. Just going to grab the pieces of the tiles that I want to merge together and I'm merging them. This tile is part of it too. Then we need some sort of a corner tile. Seems they're all coming in easily. We're going to grab this thing. Then we're going to grab the bottom of another tile. And to save time, we might just want to grab this and copy it and flip it with the X and the Y, kind of like what we did for the muncher plant, except we didn't flip it X, we just flipped it Y. I'm going to move the window over so you can see we need one last thing. One last corner tile we're going to get. Taking off this piece. And you can't see it. That piece. Now we got all the tiles. We need to make sure they act like the cement blocks. It would be safest to make them act like cement blocks. It would be 100% sure you cannot walk through these. This acts like 12F, which is the muncher plant block. 130 is the gray cement block. Seems when you make a new tile, putting it over one of these blank ones, the blanks are 130 by default. And when you just take little bits of tiles and then put them over the blanks, you're still at 130 by default. And now we need to actually save these changes into the ROM. Before you finish anything, once you've placed in your new tiles to a MAP16, please press F9 to save this data to the ROM. If you do it, it should say save MAP16 data to ROM. Close the window. Now we actually add the objects in. We did this on page 3, right? Ta-da! Objects there. Now we insert them as tiles. They work a bit differently. They don't work like the objects do. So if you were to try and make this like, okay, so objects and tiles are quite different actually. Just want to let you know. We're going to do this test between this object and these two tiles. This one doesn't go any further out. These just don't look good. So we'll knock them to their normal sizes. We can actually expand the objects out as much as we want, like so, but it's not going to look good if we do it like that. So it's better we don't. Now here's what we're going to do to this part. We're going to use these new tiles as a replacement for the cement blocks, because cement blocks get old, and that's a wrong tile. Or we could just speed things up and just... This looks okay. And I think you got to pay attention to making sure you don't have cutoff, because this could be quite the powerful tool. Also, try not to be mean with this tool, because this tool opens up many possibilities. You can change how a block acts, how it looks, and stuff. You can do a lot of weird things with MAP16. This is just one of these more important ones. We just got rid of all kinds of cement blocks, so it looks a little nicer. Now we're going to go do something else with this. Make a way up onto this ledge. Going to make it a little more interesting than all those other average ways you would get up on a ledge. Going to do some MAP16 for this one too. Need the slope part. If this slope works the way it's supposed to, then hola, hola, why did I say that? If this slope works the way it's supposed to, then you should be able to get up there. I could probably show you more uses for MAP16. I'm just gonna hope you don't use the sadistic ones. I'm using like the more intelligent ones. Like, gotta find a tile that's gonna actually match this. This doesn't exactly work because cut off. Really tiny cutoff, but still. Better if we don't have that at all. It would be better if it wasn't. I'm looking for the way to avoid it right now. And I think I might be able to find it. Found it. One more problem, which we're just going to fix with a simple dirt tile. Okay, now that actually looks pretty interesting. A little more interesting than the average ledge. Or we could do an alternative after this. If this doesn't work, we could try an alternative, because I use the tileset specific tile, which I usually don't use them. Now we're going to... Whoops. We're going to save this level to the ROM. I didn't make any new tiles. I used old ones to get that extra bit of ledge onto this. I needed the MAP16 tiles for this and for the upside down munchers. Now let's play this in the emulator. Now let's put this to the test. Okay, we put in our new ledge. Yes, we did. Then we put in the other thing. Yes, we did. Now let's just see what's going on here. The munchers are upside down. Now let's see. This is a 12F block. So you will die when you touch that. I made the munchers on top act like 12F, so if you touch them, you die. I made all these act like 130, so if you touch them, you should never pass through them. And this I just inserted. Works just like the average slope, so that's good. And the rest, I clearly I am hitting my head on some of the other tiles that the camera doesn't pan up. I'll make it pan up by running. Usually I ideally do vertical scroll at will, but I was too lazy to do it because this is a MAP16 tutorial, and I made the camera pan up by some running. Clearly see more of these blocks that are just impassable. You just bump your head on them and nothing else happens, which is what I wanted. Pretty much like the gray cement blocks you can't walk through, but they look nicer, and it's not just like cement block spam. This is how you can avoid cement block spam. Just doing this. The munchers act like they're supposed to, so this is pretty much fine. But I'll show you other things you can do with MAP16, because there's plenty more where that came from. I'm only going to be able to show you a few of the endless things MAP16 can do for you. Let's right now do one of these popular methods of hiding secrets in Rise of the Challenge. We're going to make the ground act as a pipe, and it's just going to blend in with the rest of the ground. How are we going to do this? We're going to carefully look at each of these tiles, part of a pipe tile, part of a pipe tile. We're going to look at all the pipe tiles and decide what we do with them. Part of a pipe tile. The left tile of an exit-enabled vertical pipe. Aha! The right tile of an exit-enabled vertical pipe. Exit-enabled vertical pipe, which is what we can enter. So we need to look at both these tiles and remember both of their numbers. Okay, so how are we going to get a piece of ground to act like a warp pipe? MAP16. I think that's the answer to every question in this video. Grab one of these normal ground tiles, boom, boom. Okay, so right now they're going to act as ledges. Kind of pointless. We already have these ledges, so we're going to change the numbers in here. Act as. We change these numbers to whatever numbers we want. Act as 137, so it acts exactly as this tile. And act as 138 for the other one. It acts exactly as this tile. And since we just added new tiles, we have to save them to the ROM, or they're just going to it's just going to be a blank tile if we don't save it to the ROM. And we don't want blank tiles because they look bad. I'm going to hide the tile somewhere. I'm just going to grab them both in one shot because it's like a double set or something. And these will act like blocks, so I don't think we can put them on the ledge. Otherwise you'll hit your head on undefined exits. That doesn't matter. We're not trying to link an exit, we're just showing you an example of what you can do with this MAP16. Okay, now let's go into this and figure out what the heck is going to happen now. Okay, we got the... Okay, so far nothing's changed. Okay, now let's try this. I put the weird pipe tiles around here. Let's press down. I knew it would work! And now we get trapped in this endless bonus game because we did not set an exit. I'm pretty sure you'll be figuring out how to set exits that don't lead to endless bonus games before you learn how to tamper with MAP16. Let's say if we wanted to hide our secrets Metroid style. As in, you could actually run through a part of the wall because it's a fake part of the wall. Oh, you can do that too. Let's show you exactly how this is done. Some more MAP16 editing, obviously. Bring this up. Okay, we're going to look at exactly what we want to turn non-solid. Okay, so I plan to have Mario jump up this ledge, and then I plan to have him run straight through there onto this side to get, I don't know, nothing for now. Probably will never be anything here because I don't plan to keep this level at all. But let's just show you what you can do. As you can see, all this is objects. We're going to have to make special tiles for this too. So we might as well grab all of these in one shot because they're all involved in the process. These are all involved too. And then this 3F is also involved. Yes, once you do enough of this, you'll know exactly where all the tiles you need are. Okay, so we're also going to need, it's these 6 tiles we're going to be paying attention to now. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to make this act as what? This is 14D, which is a tile-specific tile. We don't want that. We want 3F. We want this to be something you pass through. In fact, we're just going to have it apply to every single tile here. 3F, 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 3F. Good. So if you were to take this, put it there as a replacement to that, then all that should be passable through, but there's one problem. If we were to make this pass through, then the dirt there is still not solid, so Mario would be able to jump up there and not what I want. So we're going to make a second dirt tile like this, 3F. We're going to make this non-solid dirt tile act as solid. And we're going to put it up here. This is already solid, so is this. These aren't. And then there's one more thing we're going to do. Just to finish this. We're going to make copies of these too for some weird reason. We're going to take all this. We don't want it to be like the style like you would pass through the object. Like it would look a little weird if Mario was in front of that, so we're going to do priority on for these objects. This dirt tile, that dirt tile, pretty much whatever's involved in the secret, you might want to just do priority on. Everything that you involve in this secret, priority on. What this does is that priority on means that instead of you appearing in front of it, you will end up going behind it. Sprites will go behind it. Yeah. And now that this has been done, we save it to the ROM as always with the F9 key. And you go to the objects window, page 4, we start adding things in. Actually, this is page 3, the 4th page. Take this dirt tile, it's set on. We're going to start putting these new tiles over the old objects we had. You just gotta check everything to make sure it says the right thing, like dirt tile that Mario can walk through, because we don't want to screw these up. Everything was priority on, so the result should be as I expect it to. I'm just gonna put in all the tiles. There's some other things I can do with this too. It's just I'm showing off this one now because it seems like a really interesting one to use. Forget the whole screen thing. You know what? It doesn't matter because we're never gonna care about that. I did put in the vertical scroll at will. What else did I do here? Oh crap, problem. I didn't take this ledge into account. Ugh. Please don't tell me you're joking with this and you forgot to make a way up. There's a way up. It's just a little more well hidden. Just as I had explained before, I made this tile by taking blank tile 25, putting it on page 3, and making it act as 130. Now we can actually see what this ledge acts like. I don't think you can jump up 6 blocks from here. And if... oh, you pass through it. So, just as it was planned, Mario passes through the object, and what happened here? You can apparently pass through these. That was not part of my plan, the other things being passable. But everything else in between is okay. So yeah, that's how you use the MAP16 to hide your secrets, Metroid style. And then one more thing and that'll be it. Last thing I'm showing off is how to change palettes of stuff. Let's do this right now. How to make 2 different palettes present in one level among the ground. Let's do it right now. Okay, so I think we should just change these into a different palette for the heck of it. But how will we do that? We're going to look at every tile that's involved in this and then just go to the 16x16 map editor and take them all. We're going to make brand new tiles again for all of these. It's that. I think I'm grabbing the whole tile, not just little bits and pieces, so we're actually copying what they act as. Grabbing the bits and pieces doesn't change what the tile acts as. Grabbing the entire thing actually changes it to what it is supposed to be. So those are all the tiles involved in it, but let's just take another piece, and then take another piece, because I think we might actually use this again. So now we have the tiles we need, but we want them to be different colors. Let's just put these new tiles in right away. We're going to put in these special new tiles right now. And we're even going to make another ledge for the heck of it, using the other pieces of tiles. This is probably an extremely pointless design decision, but this is just to show you what I can do with MAP16 and what you guys will be doing with it after this video is done. I'm going to go back to this window. Notice how all of this is palette 2. Palette 2, I'm going to show you this right now. Palette 2. Palette 0 is this row. Then there's palette 1, which is this row. This would be palette 2. You see the green, the brownish, dirty yellow, more green, more brown, brown. As you can see, all those colors are in the grounds there. Palette 3 is just a bunch of these grayish colors. Palette 4 is a bunch of these other colors. Palette 5 is this. Palette 6 is a bunch of yellows. Palette 7 is some pinks and some blues. And if you want to change these, I would just check this, because we don't want to screw around with the other palettes, but let's do this right now. Let's get back to the real topic, MAP16. So we're just going to grab all of these at once. All of these tiles have been used, so we're just going to pick a palette and click to see what happens. If we just change like this, change the palette, then click, we will notice how these palettes have changed. But that looks kind of weird. Oh, that's even worse. I don't know what to say about this. Oh, shit. That's a monster. Oh my god. Whoa. Holy poop. This one doesn't look half bad. Since we're not going into the depth of palettes, we're going to actually keep this one, even though in most cases I would probably just change it to something else. Use like palette 1 or 3 or something like that instead. But for temporary sake, just for the video, we're going to save this to the ROM. Actually click this window, save to the ROM. Now these palettes have changed. So it's pretty much like the exact same tile. It's just that there's a different color on it. I don't really have a need to test this because I'm pretty sure you can already see the difference in colors. I'm pretty sure you should use palettes 1 or 3 if you want to actually do two-toning of the palettes. Because changing palette 1 might not change so much here. Palette 3, same unless you use lava and pipes on certain subscreen boundaries or on certain screens. And I guess that's the MAP16 tutorial. No need to show you this in the game. Now we're going to save the level of the ROM. And we're done. Bye.